Hello guys, step into the haunted madness of Forsaken, Roblox's survival horror circus brought to you by Wonderworks Studio. A game where you're a survivor sprinting to complete objectives while a killer's hot on your tail like a bad horror movie sequel. It's a one-vol showdown where you're either zigzagging through creepy maps or face-planting into a killer's trap, and your survivor pick decides if you're the hero or the punchline. I'm your jittery guide, a vet who's ninja dodged with Guest 1437, chowed down chickens with Shedletsky to confuse killers, and cashed Forsaken 2025 codes for extra points. Today, we're ranking 9 survivors from S-tier superstars to D-tier oh no moments, packing in laugh-out-loud in-game stories and tips to keep the fun rolling. Tie your laces, survivors, let's roll. In Forsaken, survivors are your escape squad. Earn player points by dodging killers or finishing objectives, or speed up with codes like Zombie Bait for 100 points to unlock the good stuff. S-tier survivors are the clutch kings with wild moves, while D-tier's more like a please don't let me die starter pack. Play them near objectives for a quick win or far to lead killers on a merry chase, early to figure out the map or late to steal victory, solo for sneaky plays or with a team for hilarious teamwork. The meta loves S-tier for their epic escapes, but B-tier and C-tier can shine with some luck and laughter. Each survivor's got a quirky, haunted twist. Shedletsky's chicken obsession, Dusekar's mysterious flops, making every run a comedy horror hit. Let's start with the D-tier disasters and climb to S-tier glory. D-tier in Forsaken is the clumsy stumbler's playground, a hilarious haunt where survivors trip over their own shadows like it's a blooper reel. Perfect for those first wobbly runs when you're still learning. If hiding behind a rock or sprinting into a wall is the smarter move. These are the underdogs of the roster, the ones you pick when you're out of points or just feeling brave enough to laugh at your own doom, turning every match into a comedy of errors. Picture getting stuck in a corner while the killer hums a tune or accidentally alerting the whole map with a clumsy stumble. This tier's all about those epic fails that make you chuckle even as you're respawning, so let's dive into the funniest flops of the haunted wilds. Meet Dusekar, the mysterious misfit, stumbling in like he's lost in his own game. This shadowy newbie from a glitchy update is the guy who trips over a pebble and alerts the killer mid-chase. Imagine him flailing with a whoops that somehow echoes across a 2-limit flop zone, turning a quiet escape into a loud laugh. Use him early game when you're testing the map's traps. Toss him into a desperate objective run where his chaos might distract the killer, or team up in a 3v3 to be the bait that buys your squad a giggle. Though, good luck not getting caught. Upgrade with 200 points when you can, because this guy's more likely to lead the killer to your hideout than away from it. C-tier rolls out the quirky runners of Forsaken, a mid-game muddle of survivors who bumble through the haunted wilds with a chuckle, perfect for when you've scraped together some points and want to mix survival with some silly shenanigans. These oddballs are the roster's lovable misfits, not the smoothest operators, but bringing enough quirky charm to keep you in the game. Think of that time you respawn just to trip into a killer's trap, or when your second chance turned into a slapstick chase. This tier's where you learn to laugh at the chaos, turning every near miss into a story to tell. So let's jump into this mid-tier madness with a big grin. Meet Two Time, the ghost with a second shot, shuffling in with a goofy 1500 energy vibe. This patched up rookie is the guy who gets caught, respawns, and immediately trips over the same route. Picture him stumbling with a 70 AOE, take 2 flop in a 2-limit retry zone, turning a tense moment into a comedy sketch. Use him early to mid-game to loop killers when you've got nothing left. Toss him into a clutch moment where that extra life might save the day, or team up in a 3v3 to be the decoy that has everyone laughing, though that debuff might just trip you again. Upgrade to 1800 energy with 250 points, and maybe you'll survive long enough to brag about your double fail. B-tier unleashes the scrappy survivors of Forsaken, a mid-game gang of grit and giggles who turn the haunted wilds into a playground of persistence. Perfect for when you've got some points to play with and want to mix toughness with some lighthearted laughs. These plucky underdogs are the heart of the roster's scrappers, not the flashiest picks, but loaded with spunk to keep you rolling. Remember that time you pinged a killer with a pizza box or zipped past them with a newbie ninja dash only to trip at the finish line? This tier's where you start owning the chaos, turning every close call into a hilarious highlight. So let's dive into this mid-tier crew with a hearty cackle. Meet Taff, the pizza-slinging scout, bouncing in with a 2000 energy pep. This cursed delivery dude is the guy who once pinged a killer's location with a flying pizza, only to get chased while munching the evidence. Imagine a 100 AoE reveal lighting up a 2-limit scout zone like a cheesy beacon. Use him on hill mid-game to spot killers and guide your team. Toss him into a tense objective run where that pizza ping saves the day, or team up in a 3v3 for a scout edge that'll have your squad cheering. Bonus points if you dodge with a slice in hand. Upgrade to 2300 energy with 300 points, pair with Noob for a plus and 15% range boost, and strut to A tier. Next, Noob, the newbie ninja, zipping in with a 2100 energy grin. This tutorial freebie is the one who once dashed past a killer, only to crash into a wall and yell, "Oops!" Picture a 90 AoE speed boost turning into a 2-limit escape tumble that somehow works. Stick him on your early to mid game to learn the map's quirks. Use him to kite killers with some beginner's luck, or team in a 3v3 for stealth plays that might just surprise you, especially when you hear that wall collision. Level to 2400 energy, link with Taff for a plus 10% speed kick, and rise to A tier with a ninja giggle. A tier crowns the clever escapers of Forsaken, mid-game masters who turn the haunted wilds into a stage for sly survival and mischievous mayhem. Perfect for when you've got the basics down and want to shine with some smart tricks. These crafty survivors are the roster's witty core, blending skill with a dash of silliness to outfox killers or ace objectives. Think of that time 007N7 cloned himself into a killer chase only to get lost in his own decoy, or when Chance's lucky shot backfired into a hilarious stumble. This tier's where you start owning the game with a grin, turning every clever move into a crowd pleaser. So let's spotlight these mid-tier mischief makers. Meet 007N7, the hacker hustler gliding in with a 2500 energy smirk. This glitchy genius once cloned himself to confuse a killer, only to watch the decoy run into a trap. Imagine a 120 AoE trick sparking a 2-limit hack zone of pure chaos. Use him on hill mid to late game to throw off pursuers with his digital dance. Toss him into chases for a troll fest, or team in a 3v3 where his clones might just save the day, unless they trip over each other. Upgrade to 2800 energy with 350 points, pair with Chance for a plus 20% clone boost, and gallop to S tier. Next, Chance, the luck-obsessed gambler, rolling in with a 2600 energy dice roll. This RNG rogue once fired a lucky shot that hit a killer, then bounced back to hit him too. Picture a 1 in 10 AoE boom in a 2-limit gamble zone that's all about Russian roulette. Stick him on you for mid-game stuns when the odds tilt your way, use him during objective runs to roll for glory, or team in a 3v3 for a wildcard play that might just win or flop spectacularly. Level to 2900 energy, link with 007N7 for a plus 115% luck kick, and rise to S tier with a winning wing. S tier reigns as the escape legends of Forsaken endgame royalty who turn every match into a horror epic with flair and finesse. Perfect for when you've conquered the wilds and are ready to rule as the ultimate survivor. These characters are the undisputed stars of the roster, dominating with moves that clutch wins or outlast killers. Remember when Shedletsky stunned a killer with a chicken leg mid-chase, or Guest 1337 vanished just as the axe swung? This tier's where you become the legend, turning every run into a blockbuster with a dramatic escape. So let's roll out the red carpet for these endgame icons. Meet Shedletsky, the chicken-chomping champ, chowing in with a 3000 energy feast. This foodie fighter once distracted a killer by dropping a chicken leg, only to eat it himself mid-escape. Imagine a 150 AoE stun in a 2-limit feast zone that leaves foes clucking. Use him on hill for late-game defense. Toss him into objective rushes to stun killers with poultry power, or team in a 3v3 for a heal boost that'll keep the crew laughing. Upgrade with 400 points, pair with Elliot for a plus 30% regen laugh, and dominate like a feathered king. Next, Elliot, the speedy healer dashing in with a 3100 energy hop. This team player once sprinted to heal a teammate, only to trip and roll into the objective. Picture a 140 AoE heal in a 2-limit aid zone that saves the day. Stick him on your for late game support. Use him during chases to keep the team alive, or team in a 3v3 for a speed edge that'll have you cheering. Level to 3400 energy. Link with Shedletsky for a plus 25% heal kick and rule the map. Then guest 1437, the Ninja Phantom, striking with a 3200 energy smirk. This stealth master once vanished mid-chase, leaving the killer swinging at air. Imagine a 130 AoE punch in a 2-limit stealth zone that's pure ninja magic. Use him on your for late game clutches, deploy during tense moments to disappear, or team in a 3v3 for a solo carry that'll baffle killers. Upgrade to 3500 energy, pair with Builderman for a plus 35% stun boost, and own the game. Finally, Builderman, the DIY genius, building with a 3300 energy cackle. This construction crew leader once built a trap that caught him instead of the killer. Picture a 120 AoE barricade in a 2-limit build zone that slows everyone down. Park him on hill for late game strategy, use him during objective runs to block paths, or team for a 3v3 defense play that might just work. Level to 3600 energy, link with guest 1337 for a plus 20% trap kick, and reign supreme. Team up like a survival circus. Pair guest 1337 with Builderman for a plus 35% stun riot, or Shedletsky with Elliot for a plus 30% region chase that'll have killers crying. Unlock better skills as you level and slap on gears, like plus 10% speed for extra flair. Snag points with codes like Forsaken 2025 or Zombie Bait. Redeem in-game for unlocks. Trello's your haunted map for updates. Check it. Start with noob or 2-time to learn the ropes, then save for S-tier power to rule the wilds. The run wraps up. Survivors. All 9 Forsaken heroes ranked from Dusakar's flops to Guest 1337's glory. You're the star of this haunted escape now, whether you're chowing with Shedletsky or ninja dodging with Guest 1337. S-tier owns the late game, while D-tier like Dusekar kick off your journey with a laugh. Newbies, try noob for early fun. Vets, upgrade Guest 1337 to outfox killers. Team Taff with chance for a Scout Luck duo, or use Builderman in objective rushes. Redeem codes, peek at Trello, and craft your survival saga. What's your Forsaken escape yarn? Are you Guest 1337 vanishing in style, or Dusakar stumbling to fame? Drop your point hauls, killer dodges, or objective wins below. Let's share some thrills. If this guides your escape plan, smash that like, subscribe, and ring the bell for more Roblox fun. The wilds are calling. Pick your survivor and outrun the night.